Shalom, Israel. I want to start this video off by first giving praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Rakakadash, Barakatah. And I want to give double honors to the teachers and elders of Great Mills on GMS who teach well, rule well, and all the other brothers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity, helping me grow in this truth today. And I want to jump right in it with I want to title this video diligently seeking this truth, diligently seeking this truth. I'm going to start off with 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 13 and 6. Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in truth. Rejoice not in iniquity. Iniquity is it's unjust. Wickedness. I had to turn from them wicked ways. These wicked ways, these philosophies of Babylon. You know what I mean? You know, I was corrupted in my iniquities, but rejoice in the truth now. That's why I rejoice in this truth today. This truth, of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. I want to go to another scripture here. Let me pull out John 4. Yahweh is a spirit, and they that worship him, Yahweh is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. In order to worship him in the spirit, I had to be diligently seeking, this new song, his word, diligent. That's why I titled this video Diligent, because actually diligent commandment that we diligent. Let me pull it out for me, mess it up. Let me pull this out. Commanding us. Psalms 119 and 4 it go. Though thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently, that's the only way I can begin to worship him in the spirit, is to diligently seek his word. Like if it was a lady you want to meet, you're going to diligently be in her life, all the time, so you can get to know her. That's the same thing with this truth. You got to diligently seek it, You got to seek it in order to be able to move in the spirit, through his, listening to his word, reading his word, you gotta be, he just said you gotta be in spirit, So I gotta diligently seek these diligently. I'm gonna read it again. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently, and as I diligently seek these precepts, then I start to have a new way of thinking, Let's go to Romans. It's a classic. Romans 12 and 2. And be not conformed to this world. Be not conformed to this world, Things I used to do, the philosophy I used to have of this world, Everything is about lies. It's built on lies, Everything. But be transformed by the renewing of our minds with seeking these precepts, seeking this truth, So let me finish this. be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. Renewing means renovation. You know, you have to if you had your place, your house renovated, you gonna whatever you finna have renovated, whether it's the bathroom, the kitchen, you gonna take everything out. You know, I gotta take everything out of this mind and put in all new with the words of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, in order for me to worship Him in spirit. You understand? I'm gonna start over. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of thy mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. You know, and that's why we gotta be diligently in these precepts, diligently in these videos. You know, diligently out there on the highways and byways. You know. I'm ready to get out of here, man. I'm tired of this, man. Mind, body, and soul is tired, man. You know, I'm ready to get out of here, so I gotta diligently do this work. You know. Let me pull out another. Let me go to Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9. They that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth. They that put their trust in Him shall understand this truth. You know, I have to, trust Him, and diligently seek Him and put my trust in Him so I can understand this truth. And such as be faithful in love. That faithful, these are the times that we need to be faithful, and the second coming of the Most High, I've got to be faithful, and love shall abide with Him. For grace and mercy, man, grace and mercy, that's a whole nother video there. That grace and that mercy, that's free. Nothing in this world is free, not even water, So grace and mercy is free for the type of person that I was, and before I come to this truth, grace and mercy is huge, and he always has grace and mercy towards me, but to His saints and have care for his elect, I hope and pray, for myself and all the brothers that's out here pushing this truth in all sincerity, that we the hopeful elect, But I want to read that one more time. They that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with Him. For grace and mercy is to His elect. That grace and mercy is huge. This is in this captivity, we need this grace and mercy because we're not able to keep all the laws, statutes, and commandments. Through this captivity. So grace and mercy is to His saints, and He have care for His elect. The water, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm gonna pull out another scripture here. Let's go to Hebrews. 4:16. All right, there we go. Okay, Hebrews 4:16. Let us come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help us in this time of need. This that time of need, man, that grace and mercy, that's a whole nother video, like I said before, in this time of need. But this time of need right now, All right, so with that, let's go over to pull out from the Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 28. Strive for the truth unto death. Strive for this truth unto death. Death. You know, when I was out there in them streets, and I went to any length, you know, and what more should I be doing for this truth, man? You know, I strive to work hard, you know, for the so-called white man, but I can't work hard for this truth. I strive to in them streets, do whatever it took in them streets to get what I needed and get what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? What more can I do but strive for this truth unto death? You know, it didn't matter. You know, when I had to do what I had to do, it didn't matter. Today it matters for this truth, though. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Wow, you know, I was at the camp with the GMS Salt this last weekend, and a so-called white guy pulled up on his bike. First one pulled up on his bike, talking crazy. He must have been on some type of drugs or something, which he was. But and he started pulling off his shirt, flexing, talking crazy like he wanted to do something. And then three other so-called white guys walked by, and they got into it. You know, they started, talking trash and whatever. And one of the brothers say, "You going into captivity, into slavery," and wow, he went off. But like I said, it was three of them, and one of them that was with him started defending us. You know, he went over to the boy that was on the white, so-called white guy that was on the bike, and started getting in his face defending us. You know, and then he started defending us against the two guys we thought he was with. You know, so that's confirmation that, you know, what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh just said. He said, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. You know, we out here, all you brothers out here pushing this truth out there on the highways and byways. He said he'll fight for us, you know. That's why we stand bold in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? 2 feet in these trenches, you know, for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know. Let me pull out a couple more scriptures here. Keep going. See. I'm past it. Isaiah 33:6. And Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be thy stability of thy times. That stability is that faithfulness of thy times that I was just talking about earlier. These are the times that we need to be in faith, you know, and strength of salvation and fear of the Lord is his treasure, you know. You know, this word is like a treasure unto me, you know. And this, you know, this faith, and that's that stability of thy times. You know, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability, you know. What just the wisdom and knowledge just from these last 3 months that I didn't learn is better than any knowledge I've ever learned, you know. You know, it's unbelievable, you know. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai is, you know, when I was a kid, man, we used to read Donald Goins books, you know, thinking that, you know, like some gangster books, you know what I'm saying? But man, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, he the coldest man. These words, this wisdom and knowledge, the coldest thing I've heard in my life, you understand? So I'm going to read that again. That wisdom and knowledge shall be thy stability of times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, you know. I got one more scripture I'm going to bring out, and that's going to go to Matthews 24:4. 45. Another, another. Okay. Matthew 24 and 45. Who then, how then is a faithful and wise servant? You know, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai was the prime example, of a servant, of a servant. He laid the footwork down for us to show us that we need to be servants unto him, servants unto our brothers, in this truth, Be there for one another, He laid that law. He did the footwork, he set the example for us, whom, let me start over. Who then is faithful and wise, a servant whom his Lord has made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season. And, in due season, and thank the Most High that, that season that I've come into this truth, but I really want to bring out in that was, Yahweh Shai was a servant. So, I want to be a servant for him, I want to, be a servant unto him, pushing this word and this truth in all sincerity, out here on the highways and byways, doing this work, putting this work in for Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm going to close with this, with this scripture right here. And Shalom, brothers. Thank you for helping me grow in this truth, and that's it to the next video.